So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler? Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it... Wait, but...
Go ahead, have a look around.
investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team, the seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with the Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems, simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous...
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to... It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an...
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big...
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine.
It turns out that the seat number it picked... I'm sure you already know that you have to make... In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Even though it's...
I see that you're investigating the area. If you find any new and interesting leads,
We don't have too many thoughts.
then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first?
The thud? Oh, you mean the...
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense.
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice, and when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope.
But wasn't the noise we heard too loud for the...
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true.
That does remind Paimon, though.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. I think someone will be assigned to monitor.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No?
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus, Demoiselle.
Huh? Boss?
Well, I am the second generation president.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer...
No need. You don't have to call me boss.
Okay, if you say so.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely
Really? We think so too! That's what. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever. But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was... Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way...
Sounds more like you just don't...
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her. All right, I've answered your question.
Wait a minute, did that answer...
Well, I say it does. But don't look. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well...
And why would that be? See, Silver and Melus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. I, too, think that the Traveler's response was, no matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations, that if that can be...
All right, that's quite enough, Melus. Anyway, I like your answer. You pass with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which...
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but you wish to save a friend from false accusations.
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something up...
I have nothing to add.
Oh.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure...
But no one can freely enter or exit the opera.
No, we're not leaving. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming. So the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point, I doubt there was much opportunity.
How can you be so sure?
Well, because I was in charge of security near the end. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post. And I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If we Melazines are good.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left. Alright, thank you for your help. This'll be... We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things...
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just...
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me, and these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine.
Oh, new helpers?
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get...
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform.
Weren't there balloons and other decorations here?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door?
Very good indeed. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right, let's go.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of the 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the...
I see. So that...
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer...
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out...
Right! You were talking that whole time!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that.
And what about Lynette?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of.
Oh!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And by the way,
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick.
So that's how it all worked! Wow!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our—
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that could we have a look around? I think we can—
This is the scene of the crime. So Linny and Lynette—
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't—
Thanks, everyone.
Whoever the murderer was, people needed to register. Why would it be? Gosh, we all the well, and that's why digging a tunnel just for.
What's this?
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick.
Whatever it is.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why?
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks, and here's a broken vase.
That can't be.
Let's note.
Oh, these are the clothes. Her clothes are here, but she's no.
Right. And do you really? Ugh, this is so confusing. Whoever the murder. This is. Paimon doesn't. What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh.
Alone, perhaps. But if they...
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right! Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up. ascertain the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malouse returned.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then! You know, like the kind you usually see in
The plot thickens. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make
charges and then trial. So
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the... That's right. This is how the statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and, to put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has its own...
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. Not that this is...
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his... Then, finally, the oratrice will be consulted by officials.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides?
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us...
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, and even if that were not so, it could prove...
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they...
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that Kate...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping... what better way to properly think through our...
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea. Just kidding! Paimon was...
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we can...
Huh?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselles.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get...
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled from the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need... Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven.
Only
Well, eating too many sweet treats...
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite. Strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit. No need for concern. I'm mere...
All right, then. Down to bit. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to...
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
True. None of the clues we found, but the only people left to consider are both technically victims.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the nor does she have any motive. The guards said that she has...
From the sound of things, this is turning into a... Your macarons are amazing, though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and...
They are my specialty, after all.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually...
No. Being greedy is one thing, but besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? If Paimon then maybe they...
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us, Malus, set up...
Huh?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and all.
Well, this...
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have... I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all...
All right, thanks for your help.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
All right. Whoever the murderer was, why would it be? There was no third part. That size wouldn't have been a problem. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Pyron's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Deep breath, as if you're about to blow up a huge balloon. Exhale all your sleepiness into it, and then, poof! It's now flying away. Relaxing days like this are nice. Let's take it easy. Deep breath, as if you're about to blow up a huge balloon. Exhale all your sleepiness into it, and then, poof! It's now flying away. First, get into position like this. Then move like that. Yep, that's it. Relaxing days like this are nice. Let's take it easy. First, get into position like this. Then move like that. Yep, that's it.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing. Good plan. Impossible things don't.
Just relax. Even if everyone... Besides, I doubt Farina understands any...
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if...
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear any...
No.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe
Huh?
Hey, hang on!
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from in.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my found... Tell me, aren't you and
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute.
Да, ребят, всем привет. Это я просто немного отходил.
Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the info. Oh, good thing I made all those preparations.
По поводу оценки персонажа, ребят, наверное, вряд ли я вам помогу, потому что я не такой заядлый игрок в Геншине. Я играю просто тупо в свое удовольствие, собираю тех персонажей, которые мне нравятся. Например, вот я сейчас собрал себе Варку, и я очень доволен, например, им. Чтобы там хейта какого против него не было, я очень доволен Варкой.
Hey, Lenny! Why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are these... Please answer my question.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to...
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived their own...
Order! Order! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's... In that case, my dear...
Так, что тут вообще произойдет, что я не пойму вообще.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon... I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you... Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's...
I'm very sorry. I know you've clashed with the Vitui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just... But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have...
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details since the truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
Ребята, никто не может мне подсказать такую вещь? Я что-то не врубаюсь. Получается, Лин и Лини, они близнецы. Но почему... как его? Ну, вот это одна с хвостом, другой без хвоста. Одна с кошачьими ушками, тот без кошачьих ушек. Они сводные, что ли? Или как это вообще работает? Я что-то не врубился. Почему они брат и сестра-близнецы, при этом разные? Странно все это.
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am...
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right, let's hear your answer first.
Of course. I'll answer any... We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is... From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, which should have been impossible, of course, I was quite certain that I was That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so after that, the homicide occurred
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secret.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole It was never my wish to proceed under But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you...
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are... If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations... Huh? Oh! Why would it be him? Doesn't seem...
Итак, у нас нет еще одной улики, получается, да? Мы одну улику так и не смогли найти. Или, может быть, она позже добавится? А здесь он что?
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made preparation. Digging a tunnel just for a magic trick? Whew.
Ладно, посмотрим, что дальше будет.
Both parties have returned to their positions. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear this. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange. So Linny proceeded to knock him out. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events.
Ну что ж, попробуем что-нибудь сделать так и разобраться, как все это работает.
Seems this won't produce.
Может методом подбора вообще тупо. То что? Тут что-то ничего не подходит. Это что такое? Понял.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that alter.
Разобрались. Наверное, вот это, да?
Linny went to the room that contains the aura tree.
Lenny did not take part in the underground altercation. He...
Attention! When the countdown started, Lenny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House space. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been... And the crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when... Paimon did it! Paimon...
In other words, you believe that he knew—
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Carol hadn't entered the... Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what Of course I do. If he had been... You're saying that he wasn't?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box, or this means that when the crime happened, Lenny, the same clue you used to disprove his alibi, has now become...
Well, to think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The deceased's name is Cowell. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have a... Could there have been a third person involved? Halsey is the missing person and... The deceased's name is Cowell. Lenny's...
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious?
Oh, is that so?
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator... No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so the sound we heard may have come from a clash between them. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. No one entered or left the opera house. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. It would have been tough for both people to. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. It would have been tough for both people to fit. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's. No one entered or left the opera. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. No one entered or left the. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have? The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing. No one entered or left the opera. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. No one entered or left the. The sound we heard may have come from a clash. No one entered or left.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble?
I see how it is.
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the
If only we knew how Halsey does.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 ends. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponent.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. The vase was not broken by chance. It was.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing If there's a similar method.
How could a person ever be transformed into water? Must we really? Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and...
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have.
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, guards, please step into the lounge and examine.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is...
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving...
Could something so ridiculous...
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tanks really... Just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just...
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of... Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit guards. Please continue examining the... Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence.
Of course. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case is seemingly
Right! Like the metal hook! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial...
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been... Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic. The water from the primordial sea should already... The deceased's name is Cowell. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this? I remember there was something else within the inner... The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and... Now it seems like the hook rope was not... The water from the primordial sea should already... Lynette was in the magic box on... I remember there was some... The rope that held the water tank up was... The rope that held the water tank up was lit... The water from the primordial sea... Lynette was in the magic box on... Now it seems like the hook rope was... I remember there was...
It's Ace Detective Paimon's turn! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector when the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel. With the remaining evidence, but he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the...
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I thought...
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remained. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with...
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Does this not, my dear citizens, my loyal Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. And having made modifications to the props beforehand, but upon his return, in cruel avarice, ultimately, he knocked Cowell out. And now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straight... Am I right, Mr.
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us. Is this the end of the road?
Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this.
Мне кажется, сейчас ихняя сообщница что-нибудь найдет. Как ее зовут, я забыл уже.
Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble chief.
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
О, Навия, точно. Вот, блин, в языке крутилось.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a... I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared. What in the world?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond...
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the... But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous... Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on... But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila!
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it...
That'll teach you.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry.
But... What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so that's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the Lenny even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective. The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was... The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but it was smashed during the struggle but... Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might...
And it's it! Having been selected out of the blue, Lily-Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover he did not know that Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, the two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lily-Ann came out on top. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended. That she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave after...
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses.
At this point, all the events...
Ah, so that's the whole...
Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended.
What? Are you reading my mind? No, I have no further argument.
Wow! Look at that! She's like a
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again the actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermark. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian, thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed in... Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in up. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny... While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct, this case, at least, can be handed over to the oratories to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in...
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you. I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon.
I was just following. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said...
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, therefore you would be wise to tell everything you know, and...
Yes! Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience... We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's...
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's true?
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't, but still. Let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like... That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave...
A knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, Would you mind here? Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering to survive. I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me.
So you went from—
That was how we felt at first, too. As if fate was on our side. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift.
Oh no. So, but wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal—
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. All I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood. And the—
So, she—
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will— I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles, but she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save—
So, she believes in that prophecy?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine. To us orphans, the only connection we have left—
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do—
Bye, Linny!
there? What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for...
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting close. Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can... And given that there's new evidence from the trial...
Ah. I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm sorry.
Don't say that, Navia.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring... sorry about that. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to...
Huh? Do we really need to get that...
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important... Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine?
All right, then. Let's have our farewell meal.
If you're about to blow up a huge balloon. Exhale all your sleepiness into it, and then poof! It's now flying away. Relaxing days like this are nice. Let's take it easy. Lady Farina hasn't changed one bit. Lady Farina hasn't changed one bit. First, get into position like this. Then move like that. Yep, that's it.
Lady Farina hasn't changed one bit. Lady Farina hasn't changed one bit. Lady Farina hasn't changed one bit.
Ad Astra Abyss. Thank you for completing. Ad Astra. I want to help.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Don't touch me!
Scatter!
dance!
Scatter! Spring forth!
With all my strength! That hurt a little. Come on, we can do it! I gotta keep my balance.
Propagate!
Need a hand?
I'll take the chance to try to get some more down the...
Sight clear.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is a turning point in...
Here.
Thunder! Up the ante!
Scanning. Watch and learn. Come at me. Sight clear. Scanning. Come at me! Too cocky. Up the ante! Scanning. Sight clear. On me. Up the ante. Thunder. Scanning. Breaking new ground. Come at me. one...
On me! On me! Up the ante!
Time to get serious.
Watch out!
Sight clear! Why?
Stand!
Look after Mondstadt for me.
Watch out! Stay back! A turning point in space! Stay back!
Let's light it up!
Thunder! Stay away from me!
I'm going in! Stop that!
Leave it to me! Kang! New life!
Adventure time! Let's light it up! Off we go!
Teamwork is dreamwork! Let's...
Don't
crush my dreams.
Shoot! I can't afford it. More bandages.
Huh? On me.
Up the ante! Up the ante! Thunder!
A worthy adversary. Thunder!
I'm going in! Burn! Up the ante! Thunder!
Come at me! Scanning! Sight clear! Come at me! Scanning!
Sure feels good to get away from my desk. Now, where's a good spot for it? Huh? On me.
Yeah. That's gonna leave a scar.
Thunder! On me.
Teamwork is strength!
Thunder! Up the ante! Sight clear. Come at me. Thunder! Thunder! Decay! New life! Burn! Feast your eyes! Scanning. Come at me. Scanning. Come at me! On me!
My experiment will succeed.
Weapons need regular maintenance. Take good care of them, and they'll take care of you when it matters most.